You ever get that feeling that seeing things other people miss? Noticing those subtle patterns, the hidden intentions, and it feels less like a gift and more like a burden. Okay, let's really get into this because it turns out psychology has a lot to say about how being super observant can quietly mess with your peace of mind.
It's such an isolating feeling, right? You catch the truth behind a smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes, or you notice that weird pause in a conversation, and suddenly, boom, you feel like you're on the outside looking in. If that sounds familiar, then yeah, you're in the right place. And really, that's the core idea we're going to unpack here. Your awareness, it doesn't always set you free. Sometimes it actually traps you. It's like your mind sees all this extra truth, but your body reacts like it's sensing a threat. And that constant, heightened perception, it can start to feel like a cage you've built for yourself.
All right, so let's break this down. What does this actually feel like on the inside? Well, it all starts with this constant, draining sense of what we can call the internal overload. Let's get into what that really means for your brain.
Okay, so think of your brain's capacity for processing all this stuff as a battery. Now imagine you're at a party. Most people, they're just chatting, having a good time. But your mind, oh no. Your mind is tracking who's avoiding who. It's decoding what that nervous laugh really means, and it's feeling the tension between that couple pretending everything's fine. See? You're not just socializing, you're constantly analyzing. And that, my friend, drains your mental battery at like double speed. It leads to this deep mental burnout.
And this constant state of overload, it leads to something called hypervigilance. Basically, it's like your brain's internal threat detection system gets stuck in the on position, and the sensitivity dial is cranked way, way up. It means you can't just relax. You can't walk into a room and just be there, because you're always instinctively scanning for every tiny cue, every potential danger.
And what does that scanning actually look like? Well, it's things like this. You're the one who notices a coworker's jaw tighten just for a second during a meeting, or that tiny hesitation before a friend replies to a simple question. A forced smile, a sudden silence that no one else seems to clock. To other people, it's nothing. But to you, these aren't just little details. They're data points, and your brain can't help but process them, each one chipping away at your energy.
But here's the thing. This isn't just a logical thing. It's deeply, deeply emotional. There's a term for it in psychology, empathic accuracy. It means you don't just see the cues, you feel them. You can walk into a room and it's like you can taste the unspoken tension in the air. You absorb it like a sponge. And look, that's a powerful kind of emotional intelligence for sure. But man, is it draining, especially because you can't just flip a switch and turn it off.
And this is where it gets really tricky, because you don't just hear what people say, you understand why they said it. Someone gives you a compliment and you instantly pick up on the note of insecurity behind it. You see someone just going along with the group and you know deep down they're just desperate for approval. And yeah, that insight can protect you, but it also sucks all the simplicity out of just talking to people.
Okay, so that's the battle going on inside your head. But what about the outside world? Let's talk about how this all spills over into your social life. Because, and this is a big one, seeing the truth comes with a pretty heavy social cost.
What happens is you start to feel this detachment. Some psychologists actually call it the isolation of insight. And it's so important to get this. It's not always that people are rejecting you. A lot of the time, they're rejecting the uncomfortable truth that you represent. Think about it. It's way easier for them to just label you as negative or too intense than it is to actually deal with the thing you just pointed out that they were all trying to ignore.
And this really shows the two different worlds you're living in, doesn't it? It's like everyone else is happy to swim on the surface, in this shared illusion where everything is fine. But you're down in the deep, seeing the messy, complicated reality underneath. You see the unspoken tension, the hidden insecurity, the flaws in the logic. And trying to connect those two worlds, man, it can feel impossible.
So why does this happen? Why is there this huge gap? Well, it boils down to a pretty fundamental rule of human psychology. Humans are social before they're logical. We're just wired to belong, first and foremost. Objective truth, that comes second. So keeping the peace, even if it's based on a lie we all agree on, usually wins.
And that's the tough pill to swallow, right? Society often punishes clarity because it threatens those shared illusions. People don't like having their comfortable bubble burst. It's a psychological thing called cognitive dissonance avoidance. We will almost always choose a comforting story over a disruptive truth because it keeps things stable. It maintains that feeling of belonging. And suddenly your clarity, it's not a gift anymore. It's a liability.
Okay, so if you're feeling stuck in this cycle, what do? Is there a way out? Absolutely. The goal here isn't to stop seeing the truth. It's about finding peace with the truth. It's about learning how to manage this ability, not trying to get rid of it.
And this right here is maybe the most important mindset shift you can make. The real danger isn't seeing the truth. It's never being able to look away. See, the problem was never your perception itself. The problem is when you can't disengage from it, when your awareness turns into this constant, obsessive hunt for hidden meanings. That's when it stops being a strength and starts being self-destructive.
So the way forward is through a skill that psychologists call cognitive reframing. A simpler way to think about it, it's about developing a kind of selective blindness. And no, that doesn't mean you ignore reality or pretend things aren't happening. It's about making a conscious, mature choice about where you focus your limited mental energy.
So how do you actually do that? It's basically a 3-step process. Step 1, see the truth. Just acknowledge what you're noticing, but without judging it. So, okay, I noticed that person seems a bit insincere. That's it. Step 2, choose your focus. This is where you ask yourself, hey, does this really require my energy right now? Does this actually affect me? And then step 3, find your peace. If the answer is no, you consciously just let it go.
And please, please remember this. If any of this resonates with you, you are not broken. You're not going crazy. Your mind is just sharp. It notices what other people overlook. And that's okay. But you have to remember, even the sharpest tool needs to be put down sometimes. Your mind needs rest too.
So it all comes down to this final thought. Is peace really found in seeing everything, or is it found in knowing what to let go of? Maybe real wisdom for a perceptive mind isn't about proving you're right all the time. Maybe it's about knowing when it's time to stop analyzing, look away, and just choose peace.